This is the second part on the painting tutorial on this miniature that is from Reaper Miniatures. She's called, let me check, Nienna, Elf Ranger from Reaper Miniatures, and now I will start doing the painting work on that. So when I need to paint a miniature like that have this part very inside, I like to paint from the inside, so I will start painting this most internal part of the miniature and going outside of the miniature while I'm painting. In that way I do the most difficult part at the beginning, the less accessible part at the beginning, and I will not dirt the rest of the miniature when I'm painting the exterior, the other parts. So the first thing is I will start painting the flesh, and to paint the flesh I will start with quite a light color, Kislev flesh in that case. So I will, and the first thing I will do is I will start applying some base coats to see the composition of the colors, and once I start having a nice look of the different composition of the colors, then I will start painting. I will start doing all the different effects. So this first part is just to distinguish all the different details and to make more visible the details that the miniature have, because there are some small details in that part of the miniature, and then I will start doing all the different effects, shadings, highlights, and all the different stuff. So the first part is I will use Kislev flesh to start painting the face, and here on the torso. And I will reconnect once I paint all the flesh parts. So in the next step I will start painting the chainmail that is here in that part here, and on the trousers I will use Alchemia Cobalt from scale 75 paints. Need to mix it more. So I will apply this carefully without trying not to go on the flesh part. But at the same time, it's important that we don't leave white between the flesh tone. We need to do the same on the other side. And on the chainmail on the trousers, I will only do the square parts, and the bottom will be, I will make them like leather in brown color later. This is why I don't do, I will do this part only. I will do this part also here. We'll do also the back, so I will keep doing this part. As you can see, I will do all the parts that have the chain, this type of chainmail, and I will connect back once this part is finished. So this is how it's looking like after applying the cobalt alchemy from scale 75. So don't worry, this is just the base color. I will apply all the silvers on top of that, and with this blue at the bottom will give very nice shading. So the next step I will keep working here on the inside or on the core of the miniature. I will do now the hair, and now I want to do hair a blonde. I want to give him a blonde hair. I want to give her a blonde hair. So I will look for a yellow that is not looking like so I would recommend not to use a real yellow, to use more like this type of colors, browns or ochres, that you think can match with the color of the hair. In my case, I will use the Samzy Desert the color. You can also use this one. This maybe is too brown for what I want to do. If you use a yellow like this one, will look like too artificial. Same will happen with these ones. So these are too bright and they will look like paint on hair more than the natural. So I go for this Samezi Desert color and I will apply this on the hair. Okay. Now, as I say, I'm just applying the basic colors to have idea how the miniature is looking like, to have better idea of the color composition. I think I will go for the armor. As you can see, I will go to silver with bluish shading. I will make some details here on golden, and then I will use also the browns for the leather. This thing is still have doubts how to paint this piece of I was thinking to make it leathery, maybe very light leather, and then shading. So this is how it's looking like at this moment, the hair. Okay, I'll paint the hair. And now, as you see, another thing that I want to say, when I was painting the armor, as I used the same color to give the base color to the blade of the sword. So now I'm going to start working with the gold colors. I will use real metallics in that case, and I will start applying, because it's quite a light color, it will cover quite well. We'll start using Gehenna's gold. Also the area that I need to paint are quite small, so this will give a nice base color. I will use this for this type of thing that she's wearing on the bell. Like some ornaments. Okay. Again, this Nienna's gold is quite reddish color, or it's more orange. So we will need to use later on auric armor gold to give more the yellow color of the gold. I will use the same color to make this part of the sword. Okay. All the back part I will think later on how I'm going to paint the bow and all the arrows and all this type of stuff. I will paint it in a last step. And maybe now it's not looking very well, especially with this type of electric blue. I'm not scared at this moment because I will do a lot of shadings on top, a lot of highlights on top of this with silver colors, and I think at the end will look good. This is one thing that you have to take into account when you're painting miniatures. Sometimes the look that you see during the painting is not what you have on mind. You have to think that that you are going to do the highlights and the final color is going to be different than what you see at this moment. Especially if you are going to highlight as a having plan. So I will also do this part, the counterweight of the sword. Okay, so now the next step I will do. So here I have some details that I also need to paint with that color, but first I want to paint some leather. So for the leather, in that case I will use XV88. And I will paint all these small So I will be painting also this part of the armor. Okay, and I will be back once I apply nothing in special here, just apply as a base paint to all this part of the armor. Okay, so this I paint the leather here. I forgot some parts here, but I was focusing more on this part. Here all the decoration of the armor, also the handle of the sword. So now next step I will do is I will paint this piece of cloth here with red, and after that I think I will start doing the first highlights on the part that I already paint to see how it's looking like and to see how if the combination of colors is working. So I'm deciding to go to very dark at the end color for the cloak. Is going to be almost dark gray or black. The same for the trousers, with this armor very light. So I paint here the red for this piece of cloth that she has here. Okay. And now I will paint the trousers. I will go for very dark color and I will use dark Reaper. So it's a very dark, a little bit bluish gray. We'll paint up to the knee at this moment because there is the boots and there is a lot of different decorations below that most likely I will paint them in leather colors. So I paint. This miniature is it's not that easy to paint. There is a lot of over layer of different details and clothes and armor plates, and you are discovering this at the same time that you are painting. So there is a lot of very small details on that miniature. Once I'm finished with this color, I will start working on the shading. So now I will wait a little bit that this part is completely dry and I will start working on the shading of all this region at the middle to have a better idea how all is looking like before I start doing the cloak and the rest of the miniature. So I will be back in a minute once this is dry. So this is how it's looking like at this moment. So now next step I will start applying some washes on this miniature. We'll start applying the Noon oil wash on the trousers. So we'll just apply a little bit, and I will go as well here in that part. This will help a lot on eliminating if there is any white spot still remaining. The wash will eliminate this white spot, especially in the separation between the two different parts, and it will help me to see if I miss any detail. So I do this on the trousers here and also on the other side, of course. And I will only apply the Noon oil on the trousers. It's important to know this is the part that will consume maybe most of the time, because I will need to wait until between washes to ensure that I'm not mixing them all. So I'm applying, wash to the black pants. Now we will see if I made any mistake. I will be able to see it, to be able to correct it later on. So this is how it looks like. This is the first wash. The next wash is going to be Agax Air Shade on the gold and browns, but first I will wait until this wash is completely dry. So now that the null oil is completely dry, I will use Agax Air Shade, and I will apply here on the red and on the gold part. In that way I will see the texture much easier on all these parts. So I apply it here, and I will apply this as well on the armor, on this part of the armor decoration that I decided to leave it in brown. We'll do this part here. When you do the wash, it's also helping to correct some of the mistakes and to make more visible some of the details that maybe were not that visible before. Sometimes I just apply the wash on an area that isn't already painted, just to see exactly what details we can see there. Especially in a miniature like that there is here a lot of things and are hidden behind the shot, are not easy to see them. Okay, you see this wash will help a lot to do the leather. As well here. And I will apply it on the shot as well. This is just the first run of washes. As I'm painting by zones, I expect to need to do more washes later on. If you do mistake like the one that you edit here on the shot, don't worry, I have to paint the soul later on. Don't take any action at this moment. This is why I'm painting first this inside, because most of the times you can make a mistake and paint a part. I see that I will need to paint the bow most likely before the cloak, because it's visible here. Also the cloak is very visible here at the bottom. So now I leave the wash as it is. Maybe I'll reinforce here a little bit more the wash, and I will wait before doing the next step to ensure that the wash is completely dry. So the wash is done, and now a little bit more here, this part here. Okay. Now we will wait until the wash is completely dry. The Agax Air Shade is completely dry at this moment, well, except here a little bit. But I'm going to do now, I will do very soft wash of Seraphim Sepia, on the hair. This is going to be the last wash before I start doing all the different highlights. I'm painting the different details. So we'll do this wash very soft and heavier here and inside the hood. And I will also surround the face, but mainly impacting the hood. You see, to delimitate very well the face, I put a little bit on the ace part to make the days deeper, to start doing the shading around the ace, and also a little bit on the mouth. One thing is never paint the mouth in red. Never do that, because it will look like that she's it's bleeding or is spewing blood. So don't paint the mouth in red. Okay, I will do the shading like that on the hood. And now I will wait until this is completely dry to start painting the different details and start doing I will start with, most likely, with the flesh and the armor first. So now we have to wait until this third wash is completely dry. Now that the wash are completely dry, we'll start working on the face. So what I will do is I will start with the ace as usual, and I will use white scar. As I explained before, I was using the Seraphim Sepia to make the shade, and in this case there is only one A visible in that miniature, the other one is hidden by hair. What I will do is I will emphasize the shading on the other A. So I paint white of the A, and now I will add the black. As usual, be sure that the black is not just on the middle of the A, is this is how the A is looking like. Okay, and now the next thing I will do, I will take some dark skin color or brown. I will use a little bit of Ivax Air Shade, just a little bit, and apply this at the line up the bottom of the A. And also I will add some shading on the other side, because on the other side is impossible to paint the A, it's completely hidden. Here I will just add. So you want to line up the base of the A. And I will follow a little bit here in the nose. So this is all. It's a very soft, subtle touch. Now I will start highlighting the skin. I want to go for a more pale skin that is much pale than what you see now. So I will use Screaming Skull mixed with Kislev flesh. Mix them to make so first I will start with the Screaming, then as I see that it's too much clear, I will put like a glaze of the, so using both colors to balance the highlights. Then here on the breast. This is how it will look like. Okay. The last thing you can do is you can try to paint the lips to give a more feminine touch. This is very optional. We'll use corn red, and when you paint the lips on a miniature, only paint the bottom lip and very little, because if you paint too much, it will look like Joker. Now we will need a little bit of the flesh tone to correct. This one is almost as difficult sometimes as painting the edge to have a nice finishing. So be sure that you don't apply too much and you apply only the bottom lip. So this will be the face. And I will finish the face here. The last thing I will do in that area is the hair. Now I will use some color like that, very pale yellow color, to highlight the hair. And I will just put some, I will highlight only some of the, like put some accents with that color. Okay, this is what you want to do. Sorry you cannot see this on camera, it's very difficult to show this on camera. So what I do is just apply on some of the top parts, very subtle, don't add too much to that. Okay. And then now what we are going to do, the next step is start highlighting the armor plate to see how it's looking like. And I will use very clear metal, is speed metal from same scale 75. You have to shake it strongly. It's a very clear metal, and I will start here testing on first on this bottom part, going armor plate by armor plate. This can be very time consuming, but I think it's going to give a very nice result at the end. So this is how it's looking like when I was doing the armor plate. I work it a little bit, will need some more work, but now what I want to do to see how the miniature is looking like, I will paint the cloak. At the end I change my mind and I will go for a deep red for the cloak. So I will use scrap red as the base color for the cloak. I will go for a deep red and see how it's looking like. Maybe it's going to be a little bit weird for a ranger, but I think can work well. So I will do all the cloak now. Just apply a base color. To see the general looking, to see how it's looking like the miniature once the red is applied. I'm thinking to do the inside of the hood in white. So I will be painting this on red, just a thin layer of red, thin down the paint if it's needed. Be sure that you keep all the detail, and I will be back once this part is finished. Now I paint the cloak completely on red. It's not looking bad, and I will do now this part here. I decide to go for white for this thing, and I will use will first apply Fenrisian grey to make it white. I will make it cold white. So I will do a thin layer of Fenrisian grey. Right. We have not to forget to do this from the back. Now I'm realizing that here I miss a part of the green, so most likely I will need to do these small details later on. So when you keep painting the miniature, sometimes you realize that you miss some parts. So I will do these corrections off camera, but just You see here there is a white spot, this will go, I will follow the same process as here. So these are the type of things, and normally I don't do all these small touches on camera. On camera I just try to show the main paint work and the main steps. Okay, so this is how it's looking like now with this layer done. Now I'm going to use XV88 again to do more leather parts. So I will use this color to keep doing this thing here. To show that I don't miss any portion of this. And I will paint the part on the boots. Okay, I will do thin layer as well, and then I will have all the main colors applied here. Okay, so I will keep doing that, and I think this will be the last step on this second part, and I will split it in another part to make the videos smaller and easier to manipulate. So it's better to have the videos a little bit shorter. So as you see, I'm playing on the boots. So I will keep doing that, and I will be back once this part is done. So I did the brown on the boots. Okay, and here I finalize this part. So this will finalize the second part on the painting tutorial of this miniature. I prefer to stop here and make the videos smaller, because if not, they are too big to manipulate and needs a lot of time to upload and all these type of things. So this is how it's looking like. I expect to finish this miniature in the third part, where I will do all the highlights and shading on the cape, on the cloak. I will paint all these weapons here at the back, and I will do all the details and the shading on the leather. So this is where I stop the second part, and keep tuned to see the third part. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.